This is Dolynny TV. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And my goodness, not to toot my own horn, but I told you so. I did. I told you Mr. Jay Woodcroft was going to come in and do some things that needed to be done. And I told you a coaching change was going to solve the problems. And after now, what has it been? Oh, I don't know, 3 games, 3 wins for the Edmonton Oilers. And yes, sirree, things are looking much better than they were a couple of weeks ago. Now, well, not solidly, but now back in the playoff picture in the top 3 in the Pacific Division. And realistically not that far behind those Calgary Flames, who hopefully lose tonight with Markstrom in net and all that goes hunky-dory in the world. That said, what am I talking about today? We're talking goaltending. Why? Because, man, right, goaltending, such a hot button issue the last couple of months under Dave Tippett, and then all of a sudden, Jay Woodcroft walks in and is like, hey guys, we're really not going to do much other than run Mike Smith and Stuart Skinner for a couple of games, and away you go. And, well, now I'm reading here as Stuart Skinner's loaned back to Bakersfield for the time being as Mikko Koskinen's come back. Okay, all right. Ken Holland maybe not getting it right, but so far, Mr. Jay Woodcroft getting it right. So you just quickly go to the schedule, and this is where I want to just play around, right? We just, it's become a thing of discussion the past couple days because the other day when we won against San Jose, it's like, man, the Oilers haven't given up less than 2 goals per game in back-to-back games since like November. Now the question is, have they done that at all this season? That's my honest to goodness question to you. Have the Oilers given up less than 2 goals in 3 straight games at all at any point this year? So, right, the last time I think we did it was Edmonton against Seattle and Edmonton against Nashville in November. We might have done it, oh yeah, we did it Edmonton, Chicago in later November. So, right, you go back there, that's about the last 2 instances of giving up 2 or less in a row. And then, right, you go to Vancouver. I guess actually, technically speaking, the last time we did it was October 30th to November 3rd against Seattle, Nashville, and of course the Vancouver Canucks. So you want to go back there, right? That's where we're sitting. That's what we're looking at. That's really the last time the Edmonton Oilers have done it since then. And yeah, okay, so we gave up another instance of less than 2 in a row to open the season against Vancouver and Calgary. There you go. It's happened very sparingly and only once before this season when it comes to the situation of giving up less than 2 goals a game for 3 straight games. Now you want to talk really exclusive club. While you talk about giving up a total of less than 5 goals total, or less, well, giving up a goal per game for 3 straight games, that's a whole nother situation right there. So that's another thing to talk about as well if you're the Edmonton Oilers, is what they've been able to achieve in the past 3 games in terms of what they've gotten out of goaltending. But this is the thing, right? Is this a Jay Woodcroft effect thing? And what I'm getting at with that kind of question is, simply put, for the Edmonton Oilers to look at it this way, is the defensive scheme has completely changed under Dave Manson and Jay Woodcroft. And, right, you saw what Warren Fogle said the other day. There's a lot going on with this Edmonton Oilers team behind the scenes on the ice, and even behind the scenes on the ice, right? Behind the play, backing up the play, being engaged in the play before the play happens, whatever you want to say, is running 11-7. It did a lot of wonders down in Bakersfield, and it has so far done a lot of wonders for the Oilers. And for the time being, I don't see that changing. And obviously, too, we talked about that and what difference that makes for Jay Woodcroft running a team and what difference it could have made for the Oilers. And after 3 games, we've seen the results, whether it be the Skinner shutout, whether it be the 2 victories by Mike Smith. Now, are we asking the goalies to give up less than 2 goals a game every game for the rest of the season? Man, that'd be ideal. Don't get me wrong. I'd love that. It's the Oilers goaltending. By no means am I saying Jay Woodcroft made the Oilers goaltenders elite. No, that's not what I'm saying. If that's what you've taken away from the video so far, please, you're mistaken. Calm down. Don't yell at me in the comments. I am trying to sleep by the time you're probably commenting on this video, to be honest with you. So what I'm just saying is, it's amazing what just a couple of tweaks in a game, right? The defensive scheme under Dave Manson, the coaching influence of Jay Woodcroft can do to kind of quell the effects of an out-of-control coaching staff like we had under Dave Tippett. And obviously the number one point on that is goals against, which makes the goaltenders look better. Are they better? Probably not. But is the situation for them better? Absolutely, which gives them a fighting chance, right? Dave Tippett had it right. 100% he did. However, he was the problem, right? You can have the justification, you can have the analysis right, but if you're the cause of needing to do that analysis, you are the problem. And what I mean by that is, what did Dave Tippett say a lot of times when Mikko Koskinen was in net? Well, you just can't give a guy a 2-on-1 and expect him to make the save every time. Well, my friends, you know what? You stop giving up 2-on-1s. You give your goaltender a better chance. You kind of get shots to a better area for you defensively to A, defend from, and B, for the goaltender to stop from. Guess what? Things are a lot easier, right? If you give up 5 2-on-1s a game and you give up 4 goals and you say on every single one Mikko Koskinen should have had it, well, Dave Tippett had it right. You can't blame the goaltender for everything. But problem is, when you're the reason, as the head coach Dave Tippett was, for giving up those 2-on-1s in the first place, problem. So now Jay Woodcroft comes in with Dave Manson. They move things around a little bit, get things a little different out there, and suddenly the Oilers are giving up, on average, 1 goal against in the Jay Woodcroft era. My friends, right? Changes. Simple. Made. But, of course, the video title, I got to get you hooked, right? My apologies for that. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Up on, out of here.